Beatles are like one of the greatest bands, if not the greatest band to ever walk this earth. You know, again, I could talk for an hour, it won't be enough. But I want to talk about their solo careers and just how just not relevant they really are or were. It seemed like and underwhelming. I don't. I mean, like they were so great, like, and they all just like offered so much. Um, and their solo careers just didn't do it for me. Like I was around back then. Like just like John Lennon stuff was not good solo. I never even really. I always thought he was kind of. He never really did it for me in general. Maybe that's a whole other topic, but like it's just like there's not a lot of memorable stuff there. I know they've like collaborated in like sparsed out after they broke up, but their solo careers were very underwhelming. Like, I don't. There's really not. There's some stuff there like that's good, but like you would expect. Like they all left because of creative differences, and like they all had these great ideas that they didn't agree with. So, like, shouldn't you all just like all these ideas you should just do solely, and they should be great, right? Like, it just didn't. I don't know. I'm very underwhelmed by just their post-Beatles career. All of them. I don't. I mean, and Harrison was my favorite Beatle growing up. I always thought he was like he could easily have started his own band from the get, and like he could have been a front man, and that band would have been amazing. And even his stuff was like "My Guitar Gently Weeps." It's a great song, but he stole it. And that's not even like an opinion. Like I think that like went to court, and like it's like yeah, like he got caught stealing. Like there's one great song that I remember solely. It wasn't his, you know. And like John Lennon just like I think Imagine All the People like that, even that song just didn't like do it for me. When he did that Christmas song, like even that, like even around Christmas time, I'm just kind of like you're singing a Christmas song, man. Like come on. Ringo had some stuff. He did. I think he did one like solo album, like that. I think like directly after or something. And there's. I'm sure he did more stuff. I know he did, but there was one record that I remember actively listening to and be like, yeah, this is good, especially considering like Ringo was the fourth of kind of the afterthought of the band. But like there was no like they all were like, oh, I have to be this like free bird, and and like I have to go make these masterpieces. And, like they clashed, and that's why they broke up. And like their solo stuff just didn't. It just didn't work for me. And I'm not. I mean, like I think a lot of people would agree with that. It's almost kind of like forgotten, like Wings with Paul McCartney. No, I did not like Wings. I actually really don't like Wings at all. Their post-Beatle careers weren't. I don't even think they seemed like really relevant in real time. Like they didn't. They weren't there culturally anymore. And I could be wrong. I mean, I wasn't there, but like. Considering the greatest band of all time with like this miraculous meetup, it was essentially a super group. I mean, and that's what all the best bands are, essentially, just miraculous super groups. But like they didn't like nothing really stuck with me that like over the years. I don't know, isn't it weird though? Like I just feel like. And there's like, yeah, you could point to this song, that song, and be like, okay, yeah, that's good. I mean, but like you got me. They have there's some songs you could point to, but like, I don't think many people can like even name or like own or point out like a classic solo record of theirs. I mean. I'm sure if I listen to all of them, like, yeah, you could, and I haven't listened to every single, like, solo song or theirs or post-Beatles song, but it seemed like did they just peak? Like, I don't know, like, or maybe they should have stuck together. Like, I mean, they were only together for 10 years, like, not even 10 years. Like, they were together just short of 10 years, like, not even a decade. And most bands, like, I mean, a lot, like, there are bands that are still torn, you know, that are, like, together, and, you know, and, like, for the best band to only last just under a decade. I think they technically made it a decade, like, legally, but they broke up, like, 9 years in, you know, they weren't, like, they weren't working together anymore. And just for, like, when the Beatles were the Beatles, like, every record they made sounded like a best of, you know, like, you could just throw it on and be like, oh, this is like a best of band. Like, no, this is just a record. Like, every song is just, like, you know, amazing. And then they went solo, and you know, and Wings, and, like, not all solo, they collaborated and stuff with other people, but, like, you know, Lennon just went with Yoko, which is, I guess, a whole other thing, a whole other video. I don't think Lennon did much solely that I remember really liking, even to this day, actively liking. He became a heroin addict. Harrison, who was my favorite, he kind of got into that, like, Indian kind of, like, worldly stuff, and it was good, I guess, but, like, it was cool that he, like, you know, went, like, multicultural, or I guess, like reached into a part of the world maybe that, like, you know, like, music wise, that, you know, try something new and something that inspired him. But, like, even that got a little, like, I don't know. And Paul McCartney he stayed a little too poppy in his post-career stuff. Like, I don't know, it just, like, they didn't, it doesn't hold up. Not only does it not hold up, it's, like, massively underwhelming for their solo careers. And this is not a critique on the Beatles. That's, like, a whole, I mean, for me to sit here and review the Beatles is almost a waste of a video, you know? I mean, maybe I'll get to it one day, but, like, for something, like, maybe specific, or I'll talk about them again, but, like, this specifically is a video about their post careers, and it didn't hold up. I don't even think that, like, they had, like, even I said before, like, I don't even think that in real time they were as relevant individually as maybe, like, they thought they were, or thought they were gonna be, or I don't know. I mean, maybe they just peaked and broke up at the right time. Although it would have been cool to see them, like, I mean, they broke up in '69, or I guess technically '70. Like, it would have been cool to see them, like, last another 5 years, you know, and, like, you know, bring that, like, '70s rock, you know, kind of lead the way, because they were so progressive. I mean, it would have been cool to see what they could have done together if they had stayed together for, like, until, like, '77 or something. You know, what they could have, you know, done collectively, and, you know, just, like, the changing of the times, what they could have done with their talents together. But yeah, I mean, solely, it's shocking how not good they were. That's just my take. I mean, I'm sure people could have different opinions. You're more than welcome to share yours. But I don't know. They just didn't. It's weird. It just didn't do it for me. And I think it didn't do it for a lot of people. Yeah, I think, I don't know. You know, what could have been if they'd stuck together. We saw what happens when they broke up, and they were just kind of like, you know, like these musicians, you know, and I don't know. Anyway, my takes on the Beatles post-Beatles solo career. Planet Pepe. Peace.